Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ugh, I slept in my makeup last night. As you can see, I got a pimple right there. Just from one night of making a mistake and sleeping in my makeup. One freaking night. Okay, so I just got off of a live stream over on TikTok, or I was watching somebody else's live stream where they were talking about um, drinking alcohol. And, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but um, when I was, how old was I when I got put on probation? It was 2008. I was born in 82. How old was I in 2008? 24 or something like that, 23 or 24, 25, something like that. Anyway, I when I got arrested for my um, possession charge, possession of methamphetamine, and for those of you guys that don't know, I literally had like a syringe with residue in it. Okay, like such a, it was like zero point 0.4 of a unit. It was such a tiny amount. I don't even know why I kept that damn syringe in my purse. Probably because I couldn't get clean ones. And so I knew that I had to use the same one over and over again. You know, but anyways, when I got arrested for my charge, my possession charge, and I was placed on probation, I tried really hard to um, I tried really hard to not do drugs. Like I was really, really trying to get sober, or at least in my mind, this was my version of trying. Okay, I was really trying to get and stay sober. And which is not really trying at all because I was drinking alcohol. And so during this process of me being on probation, these are not Nate's underwears. I don't know whose underwears these are. One of his little friends. Um, During this period of time that I was on probation, um, I decided that I was going to drink alcohol, and that's what I was going to do. And so I turned into a straight ass lush. I would drink alcohol every single morning. I would drink on my way to work. I had to drink. Like I had to have a drink in the morning on my way to work. I would drink like a 40 and a half on my way to Sonic. Because at that time, when I was placed on probation, I had gotten fired from my job at the revenue office, which, you know what? I still haven't told you all that story yet. So that story will be uploaded in my Patreon this week because I can't tell it here because there's too many people that wish ill upon me and I don't want to go to prison. So I'll tell the story in my Patreon. But I had lost my job working for the state of Arkansas. Yeah, a bitch used to work for the state of Arkansas. And I was basically had nowhere else to work except for Sonic. And so I was working at Sonic and I was drinking alcohol every fucking day, every day, all through the day, all through the morning. And I was just a lush. Well, one day I had gotten off work and I was driving home and I got pulled over. I got pulled over on my way home and I was drunk. And I'll never forget it. Y'all, this moment in time could have been, I could have gotten a DWI right then. I could have gotten a DWI, lost my license, um, and that's when I would have went to prison. I would have went back to prison that day. No, I'm live right now. And so, but the guy who pulled me over, he was like, Nicole, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing. I'm just headed home. My house is like literally a mile away. And at this time, my mom and dad had let me move back in with them. And so I was sleeping in my nephew's little room that he would sleep in when he would stay. Because my parents, my little sister Christine, still lived with my mom and dad at this time. And so I was like, my house is literally like a mile away. And he was like, I'm not gonna give you a ticket. I'm gonna follow you home to make sure you get home okay. And I was like, thank God. And so he followed me home and I parked my car. And that day I realized that like I had to stop drinking alcohol. Like it was not something that I could do and continue doing without getting myself in a lot of trouble. So I'll never forget it. I stopped drinking and I was taking hella benzos. Please do not do this, y'all. I do not recommend you to do this. I had been drinking regularly long enough that I was having, withdrawals from alcohol. And I had hella benzos and I was taking hella benzos and my mom was like taking care of me, but I should have went to the hospital. I could have died. I could have died. And that's when I went right back to, taking methadone. And that's what really like started my opioid addiction was when I was on probation. I was like, I had sworn off meth. I was mad at meth because I felt like it was meth's fault that I got in trouble. you know, that meth just crept up on me and grabbed me and made me do it. And so I was really mad at meth, and so I had sworn meth off for the rest of my life, and I was taking these methadone 10 wafers. And when I tell you guys, I was working at Sonic, and I would be nodded out all day long. And finally, my boss at Sonic he couldn't take it anymore. He was like, I have sat here and watched you nod off with your finger in the damn chili vat, eating the fucking chili that goes on the extra long cheese conies. And he was like, I cannot watch you kill yourself anymore. You're fired. And I was like, damn. So that's when I lost that job. And for those of you guys that don't know, I had 3 jobs when me and LD broke up. I was working at the revenue office, I was working at a gas station, and I was working at Sonic. And so when Sonic fired me, then all I had left was my little gas station attendant job, you know? And so when then I finally lost that job too. But for those of you guys that don't know this about me, I've always been a hard worker. I've always worked many jobs. Because I am no lazy person. And so even when I was in my active addiction, I worked a lot of jobs. I just had gotten really bad off on the opiates and the benzos. And I was like nodding off at my job all the time. When I was on stimulants, I could hold my jobs a lot easier. Somebody asked me to make a video about how I was able to keep my jobs while I was high on drugs. And the short answer is I was high on stimulants. So I worked my fucking ass off. They loved my ass when I was tweaking. It was when I wasn't tweaking that they didn't appreciate my work. So that's how I was able to hold my jobs for so long, because I was always high as hell on methamphetamine. I laugh about it, because it's funny to me now, but it's really not funny at all. It's really kind of sad. I don't think I want any of the solid. I'm just going to put this back. There we go. Ooh. It's the holiday, and I told Neil and Nate, what we're going to do today is we are going to clean this damn house. We're going to clean this house. Nate was building Lego guns and stuff yesterday. I'm going to go put these on his dresser because he got really upset yesterday because he broke one of them. So I'm going to go set them on his dresser so they stay nice. Put this one up here. Put this one right here. But yeah, since he doesn't have the computer to play on anymore, he's actually playing with his other toys now. What do you know? You know? It's always hot in Arkansas. Always hot. It's never not hot during the summertime here. It's a squelching hellhole here in Arkansas. It's usually like over 100 here during the summertime. So, today I want to get the whole house vacuumed. I have to cut up that watermelon. I want to wipe down and clean the kitchen and mop the kitchen. I love living in an apartment, you guys, because it's just so much easier to keep up with the cleaning, you know? When I lived in my old big house, it was too big. There's too many rooms. I could hide stuff in the rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like, if clutter got out of hand, I could just put it all in one room and shut the door. And I was fucking notorious for doing that shit. Oh, shut this door. It has all the clutter in it. Good morning, Nicole. Did you get my comment on your post in the community yesterday? I don't know, Haley. I didn't look. I just woke up. I didn't look this morning. Why? What did you comment? Let me go get my other phone so I can look at it. My back, my neck, my pussy, and my crack. I'm serious. It's a heart attack. I just got the trash changed. And then we gotta clean up this house. It's a pigsty around here. Pigsty, I'm telling you. Okay. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, lots of bugs. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's a great question. Oh, great questions. Hey, Haley, I'll send you my cell phone number if you want to text me on it, okay? That's how everybody gets hold of me, is they just text me. So I just seen your comment just now. Sorry, I just went to bed. Y'all, I went to bed so early last night. Ugh. Okay, cool. Those are some really good questions. A couple of you guys asked about my husband, my husband's relapse in 2020, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. Okay, I'll tell you exactly how that happened. So first and foremost, it started around the end of 2019. That's when the relapse in his mind started, because my husband had started to start doing people's work he wasn't supposed to be doing. He was literally carrying the store Kroger on his back. Okay? Like when I tell you guys, and I know this because I used to work in upper management at Kroger. Okay? Miss Brewer, my boss, that I'm friends with to this day, she just retired from Kroger because she couldn't take it anymore because of how bad they treat their employees and how they work them like fucking slaves. Okay? And I'm not trying to be fucking weird or be like insensitive to people that they work you like you are a damn slave picking cotton on the cotton fields with a damn master whipping you and everything. It is horrible at Kroger. Okay? And then they treat you like shit. Okay? They will work you like a slave, and then what's on my teeth? And then the big masters from up in the big wigs, will come down to check on y'all stores, and the masters will say, "Oh, it looks great," and then everything will calm down, and then they'll get word that the masters are coming down again, and then they'll get their whips out and start cracking you. It's horrible. Kroger is a hard company to work for, because what they do is they hire, people who are in upper management to oversee everything, but then the people that they hire underneath upper management ain't worth a fucking shit. They don't screen their employees well enough to make sure that they're people who actually want to work. And so what happens is you end up getting these lazy good for nothings that are hired underneath you, and you can't do nothing. You can't fire them. Like, they have a union where they will use their union reps to go up against you. Like, it's fucking pretty rough, okay? So Neil he had started to like really work a lot, way too much in like the latter half of 2019. He had started to work way too much, and he was making pretty good money. Not that great though. Not enough to, to accept the treatment that they got. And I know, because I was in upper management also. We would work so hard, but they would give us these tasks that, unless you have a crew that is actually like doing the work, it is impossible to carry out these everyday tasks at your job without the help of a good crew. And that's a lot of times what would happen is, they would have these great managers who were hardworking, who were dedicated, and then we would have shitty employees underneath us. It's just the truth of the matter. And so they hired this guy in the meat department. This is where everything went downhill. This guy that they hired working in the meat department, I don't know what he said to my husband, but somehow my husband found out that this guy was prescribed Klonopin. And baby, that's all it took. Okay, my husband's like McGruff, the fucking crime and drug dog, sniffing out some fucking benzodiazepines. Okay, and when my husband cannot take benzos, he can't even take one without his eyeball wandering off to the left like this. Like, literally, this eyeball will go this way, and this one will be looking straight at you. Every time he takes a benzo, I don't even have to ask, because I already know, because I can see it, because his eyeball starts going like this. And then he starts talking about the most stupidest fucking shit that don't make no damn sense, okay? And so he had gotten wind that this guy in the meat department had a prescription for Klonopin. And that's all it took. And Neil was on that like white on rice, taking Klonopin, buying Klonopin from this dude. Okay, now Neil is supposed to be everybody's boss. Like, he's not just a department manager like I was. Like, he was assistant manager of the whole store. And so you can imagine that when you have your assistant manager buying drugs from you at your job, they're probably, they don't take you very seriously. They know that you are easily manipulated. And so that's all it took, and it was off to the races. And so once that happened, and I'll never forget the first time that I really recognized it. He might have slipped through the cracks maybe 1 or 2 days without me noticing. But one day I called Neil up at work and I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he was like, "Nothing." And Neil's voice will go up a couple of octaves when he's doing something he's not supposed to be doing. It's like his body can't help but tell on him. And so I was like, "You're high." "No, I'm not." I'm like, "Yes, you are. You're lying to me. You're lying." I laugh about it now because it's funny and it's not happening anymore and he's doing so good. But back then I was devastated. A lot of you asked me, like, how did you not relapse too? And that's a great question. I almost did. There was a moment When we lived in the old place where I was in, we were in our spare bedroom, where it was like a bedroom where I would fold all the laundry at. And it was Neil's old bedroom from when he was a kid. And we were in the bedroom, and Nate was asleep. And I was like, fuck it. I want to get high too. Give me some drugs. And Neil was like, I don't have any more, and I'm not getting you any. And I was like, so pissed off. I was pissed. I was like, fuck that. That's not fair. And honestly, at that time, I was like working at Hallmark. I was taking care of Nate all day long while Neil would be gone at work till like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And so I was stressed to the max. Like, I wanted some fucking relief, but I knew that if I took a Xanax or I did anything, that my little boy would notice. He is very, very intuitive. And so I was screaming at Neil, telling him to give me drugs, but I didn't really mean it, and I'm glad he didn't give them to me, because if he had and I had done that, I just imagine that it would have been a really bad situation, because once I get into it, then it's like, that's when shit's really about to go down, because I'm going to start hallucinating. I'm not going to sleep at night. I'm going to be talking to people that aren't there. Like, I went a couple days, like maybe 26 hours without sleep on over-the-counter diet pills one time. And I was talking to people that weren't there. And this was like 7 months ago. Okay, I took some over-the-counter diet pills. They made my sleep schedule all messed up. I did not like it at all. I obviously stopped taking them. And I was laying in bed talking to people that weren't there. And Nathaniel was like, Mom, wake up. You're talking to people that aren't in the room. So that just shows you guys, like, my brain is damaged from all the years that I did drugs. Like, I can't just dabble. You know what I mean? I can't even take over-the-counter non-stimulant medication without, like, going into psychosis. So I don't ever want that to happen. And so I was just very set in my sobriety. I've always used my YouTube channel as like an accountability diary to like talk to you guys and share with y'all what I'm struggling with. And so, like, I've never just been like on my own, and like, I've always had somebody or something to help me stay accountable. And so that's how I didn't relapse. I had my YouTube channel to stay accountable to. When my husband relapsed, I didn't tell everybody right away. I waited a couple of months because I didn't want people that didn't like me to call CPS on me or try to hurt my family. So I waited until Neil got sober to tell everybody what happened. There was a close group of people from my YouTube channel, about 5 people, who were like in my inner circle, who knew what was happening in real time. But I waited to tell everybody until Neil got better, which was about 5 or 6 months. I had 5 or 6 months where I had to not tell anybody what was going on, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, because I wanted to come on my channel and I wanted to vent about it. I wanted to cry. I wanted to, get support, but I knew that I had to protect my son and my husband, because I know how vindictive and mean people are on social media, and I wasn't about to give anybody any ammo to hurt my fucking family. Yeah, Bubba, what's up? No, go in your own room. Go in your room.
How do you want me to play my Oculus? Just
take it back there with you.
I have 0 room in there.
You can play it right here while I'm standing here.
No, because I'm...
Just give me a second, Nate. I'm just talking to everybody. So anyway, it's sad that I would even have to think about that. Like, if it had happened, if Neil had relapsed, say, in 2018 or 2019, I would have came straight onto my channel and told everybody about it. But I learned over those first couple of years about people who hate watch you and who would love to take that information and hurt my family. And so I wasn't about to give you those little bitches the fucking satisfaction. So I kept it to myself, except for like my support system. Of course, like Dr. B knew. I called him the day it happened. I called Dr. B. He got on the phone. He talked to Neil for like 2 hours on the phone, which, He didn't even have to do that. You know what I mean? Like he's a doctor. He's got stuff he's got to do, but he dropped everything that he was doing to talk to my husband on the phone, and just listen to him and try to give him some solid, helpful suggestions that could help him in his life. But at the end of the day, my husband's job was just too demanding, and it was just too much. Just like my job, the job my husband has now, they've been trying to get him to be a supervisor for like the last 6 months. And I tell him every day, I know it would mean more money, but it's just not worth it because people don't want to work. And so what happens is, as supervisors, we end up having to be the person to do all the fucking work, and that's what would happen to my husband. And I don't want that to happen to him at his job that he has now, because he actually has a really good job that he enjoys doing, that keeps him healthy, and he gets to be outside in the fresh air. The only hard part about the job is during the really hot months of the summer. But after those couple of months, it's like 2 or 3 months in the summertime. And then the rest of the year is a cakewalk. It's nice and cool outside. I mean, it's easy. It's nice. Um, it is not worth it. It's not worth it. And, you know, sure, me and I would love for us to be able to be a little bit more financially stable, but it's having my husband struggle with his mental health, having my husband stressed out and tired and not be able to be with my family is not worth it to me. You know what I mean? I used to like take every promotion that was given to me whenever I worked, because I wanted to do the best. I wanted to be, recognized for doing a good job. But now, like, I just do my job and I go on about my day. Like the job I have now, I'm so fortunate because it's a job that I'm actually really good at naturally. Like social media marketing it's a natural thing for me. I am a natural at it. And so, like last night, my boss was texting me and asking me, "Oh, look at all these crumbs in this couch right here. Look at this."
Yeah, it needs a.
Oh my God.
It needs to be that little vacuum piece that has the little nozzle on it.
I have the whatchamajigger too, the dustbuster.
Oh yeah. Oh.
God, that pisses me off. Nate, no more eating on my couch. But my boss I have now, I am good at it. Like he texts me and asks me for like ideas. Like we have a company that he created called Syllabi, and it's basically like a company, an AI company, and it does all kinds of cool stuff for you through AI. And now he's trying to develop something for the recovery community with Syllabi. And so we were talking about it yesterday about different things that could benefit people in recovery, like a chat bot that you could message when you're struggling with triggers or cravings, that you could talk to, that will talk back to you and give you like suggestions that can help you in your recovery and stuff like that. And that stuff is so interesting to me, like social media. All this is just, I really enjoy doing it. So it's something that I naturally am good at, and naturally I don't have to do a lot of work to be good at it. You know what I mean? So I really love my job now. But there was a time in my life where I had to work, at a place like Kroger or, God dang, look at these crumbs. I got to get these crumbs out of the couch. Hold on, guys. We're about to deep clean our house, or at least give it a good once over. There was a time where I had to work for places like Kroger and Hallmark and different like big corporations, and I was miserable. I never got to do what I was really good at, which is be with people and help manage people and connect with people. That's like my natural ability is connecting organically with people, And so in my job now, I get to do that every day. And it's like something I really enjoy doing, So it took time for me to get to a place where I found a job that was actually beneficial for me, that actually was something that I could do, that I enjoyed doing, But once I found it, like, let's say if my job one day was like, you know what, Nicole, we don't like you anymore, you're fired. Like, I could go find a job for another marketing agency I feel like probably really quickly and have no problem doing that, you know? So we all have our little thermoses. Hey, Mindy, good morning, baby. See, look at our little family thermoses. Me, wait, Neil, Nate, wait, me, Neil, and Nate. And there's Mr. Man Bun himself. Clean it. We're just about to get cleaning the house up. We might go swimming today. I think we're going to go see a movie, though. I was looking to see, and there got a lot of really good new movies playing now. So that could be something fun.
You wanted us to cover and eat lunch too.
I think these are like one of the little skinny mini friends, Nate's. Austin or
Austin, he said they weren't his.
Austin or Zane.
Yeah, I think they're names.
Yeah, you know, if I'm about to get off here, you guys, because I'm going to help my husband clean, but I wanted to talk to y'all about something really serious, though. So, like, when you're in recovery and you're getting sober, a lot of us struggle with only thinking about things in the short term, okay? Like we struggle with impulse control. We want what we want when we want it. We want instant gratification. But when you get sober, you have to start thinking for the long run, okay? You have to start thinking about your future. And I talked about this in a video I did a couple of weeks ago about you guys doing your 401ks, you guys getting your life insurance plans, you guys getting insurances and all that stuff, because it's really freaking important, especially if you have children, you know what I mean? And so I didn't understand the importance of this kind of stuff until my husband, you know, took care of it. And now, and of course my dad would always tell me about these things, but like when you're in your present day life, you're not thinking about what happens if I die tomorrow. Will my child be able to have a good life and be taken care of? Or will my family have to go into debt because they're burying me? Do you know what I'm saying? And so, it's really important that you pause and start thinking about those kind of things. If, heaven forbid, if something happened to me, I don't want to be a burden to my family because they can't afford to bury me and put up a funeral for me, you know? And so like thinking ahead of time and like preparing for the future and making sure that you're insured, making sure that you have life insurance, making sure that you have money coming out of your checks every month to be saved back for your children or your kids' college fund or their new car when they turn 16, whatever it may be. You know, I don't believe that a lot of us are saving for college anymore because we all know about how fucking useless that shit is. Fuck college. Unless you're going to become like a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, or something really like where you got to learn brain power shit, then college is useless. I mean, look at my husband. My husband went to college for years, and we're still paying off on his fucking college loans. And he has a master's degree, and he doesn't even have to use it anymore because he just doesn't, you know? And so I remember when I was a kid, my mom and dad would always tell me, like, I need to go to college, I need to do this, I need to do that. Those days are over, baby. You can be whatever you want to be to an extent without a college degree. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, if you want to be a doctor, go to college. I get it. If you want to be a medical professional, I get it. But anything else, I mean, you could do anything without a college degree now. So, setting yourself up for success. If you're somebody who is not married or not in a relationship, like really building up yourself where you have where you're able to take care of yourself, making sure that you're gainfully employed, making sure that you're saving money. Like, you don't ever want to be in a position where you have to depend on anybody to like make sure that you're okay, you know? And I got lucky that I have my husband and we work together. Hey Ash, what's up, girl? We work together to help each other. But if Neil wasn't here, could I handle my own? Bitch, you best believe it. I could. I paid my car off. I made just enough money. I could pay for the rent here, all of my utilities, gas and shit, food for me and Nate. And we would be scrimping, but we would be able to make it. I would be able to stand on my own 2 feet. You know what I mean? And so I really want you guys to think about those things whenever you're getting sober or you're trying to build your life. I talked to Mindy about this yesterday. I was on a lecturing spree yesterday. Y'all can ask Mindy. I had to say, I said, okay, I've lectured you long enough. I love you. Go be wild, child, and I'll see you when you get back. But I want you guys to be successful, and I don't want you guys to struggle or be in a position where you can't take care of yourself or you have to depend on somebody else to take care of you. And that's why I'm stressing to you guys that when you get sober, get your shit together. Find a job, a trade, something that you're good at. I know that, like, when I was younger, a job that I would have loved to do, I would have loved to do hair or makeup or get into, like, doing the lip plumping for people and Botox and stuff like that. That's like a really interesting job to me. Something where I'm interacting with people all day long and I'm getting to make them feel beautiful, If I hadn't got into the job I have now on social media, that's what I would do. I would be working with people, making them feel beautiful, How much is minimum wage here in Arkansas? $8.76?
Oh, no, I think it's gone up since then. I think it's like closer to like, I don't know if it's like.
I don't know about that now, boo. Let me look.
$10 maybe?
Let me look. What is minimum wage in Arkansas? It's $11 per hour here in Arkansas, honey.
There you go.
Oh, that's nice. That's good. Well, back when I was working out of the house, it wasn't that much.
Yeah, but I mean, also things have changed, like how much things are and what you need to be.
I was just talking to Mindy about that, PJ, last night. I was on a lecturing spree. I don't think she's in here anymore, but she knows. I lectured her for a good 30 minutes and said the same thing. I told her all the things that I thought she would be good at doing and was talking to her about, getting into doing those things. So she is a smart person. She could do anything she really wanted to. She's very smart. She's very street smart as well, which comes in clutch a lot of times, Oh, really? Yeah, like you just got to find something that you enjoy doing, If you guys are trying to get into working, find a job that you enjoy doing, that's something that makes you happy when you do it, It doesn't have to be anything that makes you rich, but something that you enjoy doing because you're going to be doing it for a long time, And like I want people to understand that. Yeah, buddy, what's up?
I need to be near the surgery's on.
Okay, I'm about to vacuum and everything.
Why do you?
Hey, look at me. We are cleaning the house, Nate. I'm about to get off my lag in a second and clean the house.
Well, I'm trying to do stuff.
See all these crumbs? They come from a little pack rat named Nathaniel Alexander.
I never.
They came from inside my couch right here in the corner. So, I did hear about that. And she needed to be arrested. Her children were being duct taped and they were malnourished and not fed. All I have to say is, I told my son about it the other day. I said, I want you to understand how great of a life you have. And I told him about these kids who they escaped their mother's house, duct taped and malnourished.
I casted and I got. OJ, I have a because I just woke up like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. And you know what I believe? CPS doesn't do their job. Here, I'll go in my room and clean it up, and then I'll come out here and vacuum.
Ruben's here.
Are those clean, those dishes?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I have water.
Okay, I couldn't remember if we washed them or not. Okay, so people had been calling CPS on those people for years, okay? And this is what I'm telling you guys. CPS goes after the wrong people. They come and they take children away from families that really love them. That's trash. And then they keep the kids with the family members with people who don't take care of their kids. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely outlandish. That's why I get so upset when I see people who have struggled with drug addiction lose their children, because honestly, you guys, like, somebody, just because somebody is uses drugs doesn't mean they don't love or take care of their children. It just means that they have a sickness. You know, I would much rather see somebody struggling with a drug addiction than abusing their child. You know, and that, but those are the kids. They're left with the families who abuse them, who beat them, who fucking starve them and everything. You know, it's disgusting. That's why they take little kids. Like, that's why I believe, you know, Nathaniel got taken away from us, because he was a newborn. He was a baby. He was not even 1 year old yet, you know, and that's a lot more marketable than a 12-year-old, you know. But back to the sobriety chat. It's really important when you get sober to learn, you know, impulse control and stop doing things on a dime. Like, you got to prepare your life, man. Everything's not going to be quick and easy and fly by the seat of your pants anymore. And I believe that a lot of people who get sober struggle in the beginning because of that whole wanting things to be exciting, wanting things to be cool and fun all the time. Honey, baby, you're sober now. It's about to be boring as fuck. And that is just the truth of the matter. Life is not supposed to be some fucking chaotic, crazy, meth-fueled adventure all the time, right? You got to slow down and do life the right way. That's why I don't, you know, like, I like being at home. I think a lot of it is because when I was in active addiction, I had no stability. And so I went from having no stability, you know, being outside of the house, not having nowhere to live, to having a place to live where I enjoy being at home. I don't mind not leaving my house for a week or two. For me at all. Because I lived the direct opposite of that life for like 17 years. Okay, I lived the couch hopping life. I lived the fly by the seat of my pants life. You know, now I'm chilling, I'm relaxing. Yeah. Honestly, I live vicariously through all the drama here on YouTube. I just be sitting back enjoying the ride. Because I'm chilling. God knows I got enough drama from my past that I don't need no fucking drama now in the future. I gotta take a shower. But I like to wash my face, make myself feel a little bit better. You know? Brush my teethies. I think some people get. I talked about that earlier, Ash. You asked me how I didn't relapse when Neil relapsed, and I just got done telling the story, but I'll tell it to you really quickly. I almost did relapse when Neil relapsed, because it was like probably like his day 4 or 5 of him being relapsed, and he came home, and I said, just get me some drugs too. I want to get high too. And he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't give me no drugs. So I was up shit creek without a paddle. And y'all gotta understand, my husband was relapsed for months. Okay, it wasn't like just a one-time thing. It was a long time. He would he would relapse and then get sober, relapse and then get sober, relapse and then get sober. It was always around the 1st through the 15th of the month, because that's when that stupid motherfucker would get his refill of his Klonopin, and he would sell my husband some at work. When I tell you guys, let me tell y'all what I did. So my husband was plotting. I didn't know he was plotting and scheming. One night he was like, we need to go to the grocery store and get you some cheesecake or something like that, right? And I was like, hell yeah, that sounds great. And he had been doing good, right? But I still was like, you ain't going alone, honey, I'm going with you. So I went to the store with him, me and Neil and Nate. Well, we got there, and Neil was trying to go talk to this dude in the meat department, right? And that's when I knew right then that this motherfucker was up to no good. Do y'all know that I had my eyes set on him so good that he couldn't fucking go, right? So this dude came up to us in the damn self-checkout. And do you want to know what my husband fucking did? My husband gave this motherfucker our debit card. Okay? Gave him our debit card. I had no idea until we got out in the truck and got home and realized that's what had ensued, was he gave this drug dealing ass fucking motherfucker our debit card, okay, to pay for the Klonopin that he was getting from him. When I tell you guys, I seen red, okay? I was like, you are really out here doing the most. You are really out here on a full-fledged ass relapse, talking about giving folks our motherfucking debit card. When I tell you guys, my husband, when he goes on one, he goes on one. And so I just didn't think it was that serious of on one until he gave that motherfucker our debit card. And that's when I knew all fucking bets were off. That I had to go into over protection mode. And that's when I started fucking freaking the fuck out, calling this motherfucking dude, cussing his ass out, going up to the damn Kroger and cussing his ass out behind the damn meat department. I don't give a fuck. You know, I was livid. And so when that happened, I knew right then and there, like, this fucker has gone off. He has truly lost his damn marbles. You know, that dude could have taken our debit card and taken every fucking bit of money that we had in our fucking account right out that motherfucker. Had our PIN number and everything. Oh, Lord. That's what I'm telling you guys. Like, and that's why for so long I was like in self-protection mode, trying to keep Neil from like, really rock bottoming our whole family out, because he was on a mission to ruin our lives. And he didn't even realize it. And that's how he gets when he's like that. He's like in tunnel vision mode. So I was too busy in self-preservation mode, trying to save our family from him. That's why I guess I didn't go down the route of getting high, because I was fucking losing my damn mind trying to keep him from doing it. And like I said, it's funny now because all in the past, it's not a big deal anymore. But it was scary at the moment, and it's such a big change from the way Neil is regularly. He's very responsible. He's very thoughtful. He takes such good care of our family. But he can switch on a dime when he is not in a good headspace. When he's not in a good headspace, he can switch just like anybody can in their addiction, And he's very fortunate because he's always had me in stability mode in our relationship in since we've gotten sober. If I ever did that, do I think that he would be able to hold it together for us? Maybe. I don't know. Because whenever I go down for the count, it's pretty serious, One of us had to stay on the right path because if one of us didn't, we would have lost everything. It was a hard time, but we made it through it. Well, yeah, I got it back the next day. I got the damn debit card back the next day.
There's an eye doctor that the same hospital. And the eye doctor would kill him. And they would.
So it was like, honestly, it was like months before that he had been struggling with just working too many hours and being taken advantage of at his job. And I mean that. Like, I really, really mean that. My husband is a very, very hard worker. He never misses work. Like that day that he had to come home early last week because he got sick from the sun. That's the first time that my husband has ever had to tap out at his job and get off the route. Like he doesn't call in. He could be sick in the morning, not feeling good, and he will not call in. Like he just doesn't call in. Like, I'm the kind of person that I will call in if I don't feel good. You know what I mean? Not Neil. He won't do that. So, he had already been, like, being overworked, and underpaid. So, he was in, like, relapse mode for months before he ever relapsed. And before the really bad relapse, tell me how this shit happened. Because when I tell you guys, this has never happened to me. And my husband will tell you this happened. My husband's outside pushing the carts in, okay? The shopping carts. And in one of the shopping carts, there's a pharmacy bag. And inside of the pharmacy bag, there was a whole prescription of Klonopin. Now, this time when this happened, my husband was able to do the right thing and turn it back in and not take the drugs. That was the first, like, whoa, right? Then it happened again right before his big relapse where he was at work and he was in the dog food aisle and he lifted up a big bag of dog food and underneath that bag was somebody's wallet. So he opened the wallet and inside of the wallet in a little pocket were 2 Xanax bars. And that's when he took them. Tell me how. I have never found drugs just laying around on the ground. Okay? But my husband, it happens to him all the time. I've never had that happen to me, ever. So, yeah. Until I ordered the shoes. Neil just said that. He goes, until you ordered the shoes. Now, and I truly believe that it was the Holy Spirit. I believe it was like, not the Holy Spirit. I believe it was a demon trying to test me. Okay? So, a lot of people try to act like I put that meth in my shoe. If you are one of those people who believes that, fucking sit on it and spin, bitch. I would never do that. I wouldn't even know who to call for meth nowadays because I don't fuck around with nobody that does drugs. I don't fuck around with anybody. The only friends I have is Neil and Nate. Okay? Y'all see my life. I don't do shit. I am chill. I fucking chill and I do my own shit at my own house by my damn self. Can't nobody fucking tell on me. Can't nobody be like, Nicole does drugs, because the only person who would know if I did drugs was me. You know what I mean? So I don't do shit. And when that fucking meth came in my shoe, when I tell you, I was scared because I actually contemplated shooting it up. I actually contemplated going to my damn cabinet where the syringes are at for my dog and putting that shit in a spoon and injecting it into my veins. I actually thought about it and I was scared. I was crying. I was hysterical. Like, it was really seriously scary for me because I thought about doing it. For a split second, I thought about using that meth. you know? I really thought about using it. And it hurt my feelings so bad when people try to say that I set that up for views. First of all, that video didn't even get that good of views. It only got like 200,000 views. The video that got the most views was the video before it that I was talking about being triggered by meth, and I hadn't even found the meth in my shoe yet. The video before it got 1.1 million views, and I was just talking about how I deal with triggers. I hadn't even seen the meth in my shoe yet. I hadn't even tried to put my shoe on yet. That's what's crazy. Before I fucking even seen the shit, I was talking about triggers on my TikTok account. I was talking about triggers and struggling with triggers and how I deal with triggers for my when I'm triggered by meth. That was what I was scared about. That's what my husband said. So when it happened, I called Neil right away. I called Neil and I was like, dude, you're never going to guess what I just found in my shoe mark. And he was like, what? You know, he was probably thinking I was about to say, I found $100 bill. Cool like that, you know? And I was like, dude, I found a bag of fucking crystal methamphetamine. And Neil was like, there ain't no way. There is no way. And I was like, Neil, I promise. And I sent him a picture of it. And he was like, well, don't do anything, you know, get rid of it. And I was like, I know, you know, and I hung up with him. And when I hung up with him, that's when my mind said, I could do this and get high and no one would know. Nobody would know, you know? And so when I thought that, when that thought came to my mind, I got really scared and I felt real uncomfortable. And that's when I turned on my phone and video cameraed myself throwing it away, flushing it down the toilet. Because I was going to use it if I didn't hold myself accountable. You know what I mean? And so I dumped it completely out into the toilet, and then I also flushed the baggie, you know? And I was so proud of myself because, I mean, honestly, I had to shit after that. That's how fucking triggered I was, dude. Shit afterward. It made my... And I didn't... the thought didn't even cross my mind to, like, make that shit up, right? And so when I posted it on my TikTok account and people started saying things like, oh, she made this up, she planted it. Dude, that hurt my feelings so bad because I would never do that. That's really serious to me. You know, that was a really serious situation for me. It was really serious and really scary. But when people started saying that about me, it made me realize how many people would have made that shit up. It made me realize how many people would lie to their followers just to get a couple 100,000 views. You know what I mean? And I was like, damn, dude. That's the kind of world we live in, though, where people would rather be like TikTok famous or YouTube famous than to be honest. You know? That really was sad to me. Because that's not the way my mind thinks. My mind doesn't automatically go to, oh, I'm going to lie to my followers to get 1,000 views, you know? It's not like I get a lot of views, period. I mean, y'all see how my YouTube channel does. I'm not over here going viral every day. It's the truth. I was so triggered I had to take a shit. It's the truth. It's the truth. You know, I tell the truth. So, but you know, that baggie had looked like it had been inside of my shoe, in that shoe for probably like 2 years. So the shoes that I ordered, they were a pair of beautiful purple Converse Chuck Taylors. I still have them. I wear them every day. Those ones, that's the kind of shoes I like to wear, are my Converse. I wear those the most. And so they were a beautiful pair of Chuck Taylor Converse. And when I went to put my left foot in the shoe, there was something blocking the toe. My toe couldn't go forward. So that's when I was like, hold on a second. And I put my hand inside there and I pulled out a wad of toilet paper, it looked like. It was a wad of toilet paper that had like black soot on it. It looked like they had wrapped their pipe, their meth smoking pipe in the toilet paper as well. And so when I seen that, I opened it up and it had a little baggie in it, Ziploc baggie, and that's when I realized this is fucking drugs. Like, this is not. People were saying, "Oh, what if it's the crystal things that they put in clothes?" No, this was methamphetamine. This was literally ice. Okay, and so I was like, "Fuck, dude, this is drugs." You know, I just found drugs in my shoe, and I had literally been ordering from Poshmark for like 2 or 3 years before that, and I had never gotten drugs in my fucking shoes before ever. I'm about to cut up that watermelon. Did you do the dishes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, it's getting a little too.
Okay, I'm gonna do the I'm gonna do the watermelons.
Oh yeah, you're on tilted. You made it. That speedy collecting were filled in that round.
Yes, he's allowed the game again now.
Let's pretend like that one house on the entire map is ours.
What, Neil?
I was asking Marco if he's getting on bed.
But he's not allowed to rage. That's for sure. No raging, right, Nate?
Huh?
No raging, right?
Ranges?
Rage. No raging,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, let's go to our house. All right now.
So,
And then you play Fortnite.
um,
Bro, I'm playing Fortnite. Yeah.
I just thought that was so strange for anybody to even say that I would plant that. To go through that much trouble
The tower.
to have drugs in my home just to fucking flush them down the toilet? Like, come on now, motherfuckers.
Tilted.
Okay.
What?
I'm
It's
gonna,
going way too
this
fast.
is a big ass watermelon, y'all.
Why is it going so? Oh,
Let me get Thing to put it in.
Oh, what is that? Oh, I'm chilling on it. Okay, what I think. What? Look, that crane just fell. Yeah, you're chilling. That shit just falls. I'm jumping.
Yeah, I had just
Oh,
bought them
wait, we're
shoes
just
from
falling
Poshmark,
in this game,
which
so-
is, you know, Poshmark has sellers on it. And so, I mean, it
A minute.
could have happened to anybody. So I went on Reddit and different places like that, different forums, and I looked up to see if anybody else had ever had that happen to them with Poshmark. And you know what? There was a couple of other stories. One where a lady got hydrocodone and another lady got tramadol sent to her in her order. So I wasn't the only one who had that experience. Pretty crazy, huh?
What happened?
Pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, hold on. We're just
So-
going there a quick way. Use it. It'll make us fly. Just do it. Just do it. Ah. Get in the corner.
Oh, did you see? Oh gosh, y'all, there's some crazy shit going on with like Mindy and Tracy. So somebody's trying to dox Tracy again, and we think we know who it is. And honestly, I cannot believe that this person
Oh.
is like stupid to this level. It just goes to show you their lack of recovery.
I'm inside of a blizzard.
It honestly makes complete sense to me though, because they're
Outside is
just so.
not safe,
This
bro.
person is just a little shit. They're a little shit ass bitch who's always been a little shit ass bitch since the beginning of time. That's why, honestly, you guys, I know a lot of y'all think I'm crazy as hell, but that's why I doxed myself. That's why can't nobody do shit to me, because I already did it to my damn self. So sit on it and spin again, bitch.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go play some Fortnite. It's cool. Alright.
sit on it and spin again, bitch. Bitch, bitch, bitch. And I feel bad for people like Tracy who want to be anonymous and who, you know, their ability to be anonymous is being taken from them by haters on the internet. You know what I mean? But honestly, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. Like, if you get yourself into shit like this is why, if you're going to get yourself into shit like this, you better hope that you don't have nothing to hide, because people will dig into the crevices of your life and try to find that shit out. You know? And that's why I'm living free, because bitch, I ain't got nothing to hide.
Bro, we have internet.
And I think that's what makes people so mad about me, because I ain't got nothing to hide, you little bitch ass motherfuckers. You know?
Bro, me and Fortnite down in bullets, bro.
Let's see if this watermelon's even. Okay. It's good.
Give me it. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm telling you guys, that's why if you're going to get into beef on YouTube or any social media platform, you can't be somebody who wants to people to not know who you are, because that's going to be the first thing that they're going to go after. You know what I mean? That's the first thing that they're going to go after, is trying to expose who you are, because they know that that's your weak spot. You know what I'm saying? And so the only thing people try to fuck with me about is my child, which is despicable, because they know that's what I care about, you know? But just like it honestly, when people do that, it just makes them look like a piece of shit. So just like when Jason, you know, posted pictures of my son on his TikTok, he got his asshole ripped, because that's fucking wrong. You don't do that to kids, you know? Just because you don't like me doesn't mean you go after my young child. That's sick shit. That's sick. And everybody knows that's sick. You know?
Okay, your mom is so blind when
I love Tracy, and I feel for her. I really do. I really, really do. But I also told her, you know, if you had this stuff that you didn't want people to know, I really don't think you should have got into all this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just the way people are on the internet. I learned all this the hard way. I'm telling you guys, like, I literally got harassed so bad for 2-3 years by a couple of old ladies on the internet. Like, go figure. Who would have known that I would be harassed by 70-year-olds? One of them harassed me for so long, she keeled over and died from the shit. Because she had so much hate in her heart. She fucking croaked. And yeah. Shit happens when you're not good, when you're a bad person. When you fucking do bad shit, karma will come back and get you.
Stuff is falling out of the sky.
And when you're... We love watermelon at our house. We've had like probably 4 big ass watermelons this summer.
OJ, oh my gosh, OJ, if you get hit, it's your fault, bro. Bro, the top of the, we're chilling.
I just think it's so funny that these people are now trying to like come out of the woodwork and fuck with Tracy and Mindy whenever nobody's really talking about Jessica anymore. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares, girl. Everybody already knows that you lied. Okay, that's been exposed. Honestly, what she's doing by doing this whole docuseries, it's a whole ass Barbara Streisand effect in full effect again. So her doing this docuseries is only piquing people's interest to look into her lies even more. And that is what is so crazy to me about all this. Is that for somebody who has been on social media for as many years as this girl has been on social media, you would think that she would know a little bit about how to handle these situations or have a team of people who would help her in these situations. But she doesn't because she's probably too cheap to pay anybody to do it. So instead, she sits there and makes herself look dumb as fuck and brings it to people's attention on all her million follower platforms. Like,
right, okay.
in my humble opinion, what I would have done if I was in her situation and I had millions of followers, I would have never even validated any of Tracy's videos. I would have never validated any of my videos. I would have ignored me so hard and just went on about my everyday life. You know? And would have never even given it any kind of attention. Because the moment she gave it attention is the moment that she validated it for everybody. You know? And it's like, how do you not see this? You have a huge following. When you're not lying, you don't have to defend yourself. Just like I've said about people calling me a body broker, I'm not even going to fucking talk about it. I'm not even going to give it any attention. Because all you have to do is do your simple ass fucking little simple minded ass research and you would know that. You know what I mean? So I just don't pay it no mind. I could sit here and go back and forth with people on Reddit all day long about that shit until my face was blue. But anybody with half a brain can just research and see. Just like anybody with half a brain can go on the website that Tracy created with all the paperwork and read it for them damn selves.
Okay, that's okay.
And read it for them damn selves. And see it right there in black and white, plain as day. Plain as day. Oh, I do know reversed on Randy. I told on Randy because he told on me first. That's called snitching. You don't say shit, okay? You don't say shit. When the police ask you questions, you just say, I don't know. I need a lawyer. That's all you say. Or you do like me and you say, I don't know. I gotta go ask my dad. Good job. I mean, look at me. I've even said I didn't know what to do, so I went and asked my father. You know what I mean? That's what you just fucking be honest and do the. Anyways, hilarious. So now, because she has nothing of relevance to talk about, and no way she can help people anymore, right? Because we know she ain't know nothing about staying sober. Now she's just gonna sit here and try and ride the drama wave of the drama that's left over. Because don't nobody give a fuck about anything else she has to say unless it's about her exes. Unless it's about her exes and her toxic relationships. Don't nobody want to hear nothing she has to say anymore because they all realize that she's a big ass liar now.
Bro, the lighthouse was not. OJ, what did you think that was gonna do? Checking from Fortnite. Chase your dust.
Who's bright stripes and bright stars?
Okay, you cannot be talking. You're literally. I'm not even going.
Okay, this is somebody who can't be alone. Okay?
Bro, I don't
They
want to
can't be
know.
alone with themselves, because when they're alone with themselves, they have to think about how miserable they are, how they ruined their relationship with the person they were supposed to be marrying, XYZ, yada, yada, yada. Hold on, Nate. I'm going to vacuum real fast.
R-A-P-O-K.
This spot real fast.
Ruben?
Hold on, Ruben. Hold on, OJ.
Oh, yeah, R-A-P-O-K. R-A-P-O-K. Dad, Dad, Ruben, right here.
Oh. This carpet right here is so hard to vacuum because it's textured, so we don't want to move. And the home of the brave. Okay. Phew. I'm sweating. Okay. I do think it's hilarious that loser Burner 420 is trying to talk shit about Mindy now, because Mindy ain't even talking about that shit. She hasn't even been on social media really making any content. I believe, this is my conspiracy, allegedly, I believe that they're all in a group chat. And I believe that Jessica's like, hey, I need y'all to talk about this drama because ain't nobody in my fucking Patreon wanting to hear about it. And I need some fucking, I need some publicity. Because, like, nobody cares about Mindy being a snitch, you dumbass. Mindy never claimed to be some gangsta brew prison wife, okay? Mindy never that don't matter. She literally talked about how she gave them all this information, and then in her paperwork it says the information that she provided was literally worthless. Worthless. Okay? The literal federales said that the information she provided them with was fucking worthless. That it was of no use to them. Okay? It was of no use to them. Yeah, everything about her is fake. Okay, and I'm so glad so many people are seeing it now. You know, there's a few people who are just like young and dumb and just sit there and like suck up that fucking fake ass fucking trendy talk about my trauma ADHD bullshit victim mentality 24/7, and it's so fucking annoying. It's really, really annoying. Um you know, it's so annoying. Sorry, y'all. I just blocked that person because when people come into my chat asking people for money that we don't even know who they are. So, um, like, out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Nobody has been talking about Mindy. Nobody has been talking about that shit. Everybody is trying to move on and move on to different subjects and talk about recovery or whatever their channels are going to be about, true crime, whatever, right? And here comes big old burner bitch out of nowhere, out of left field. Hey, Melissa, talking about some bullshit that don't matter.
Oh, Ruben?
I just don't like it because I feel it's really nasty how, like, you guys have seen how Mindy is showing that she's staying sober. She's checking in. She just texted me with her sober check-in. And she checks in with me every day. I help her stay accountable and help her stay sober, right? I think it's disgusting how now that she's staying sober and she's trying to move forward, that people are trying to bash her sobriety, say that she's not sober. Whoop. That's disgusting to me. That's disgusting to me. At the end of that video, that fucking piece of shit, piece of shit, okay, shares a picture of this dumb bitch from 2 years ago when she probably was sober and says, this is what a sober person looks like and this is what a not sober person looks like. Talking about Mindy, like, dude, are you fucking kidding me, dude? It's funny to me that you have to pull a picture from 2 years ago. I've never been somebody who was a victim of any, I never ever I never walked in a victim mentality. I think the only time I ever really struggled with that was when I was in active addiction and I felt like my mother-in-law was always attacking me. And that was because my perception of what was going on was skewed because I was high. The moment I got sober, I was never a victim. I have always taken responsibility and accountability for the fucked up shit that I did. You know what I mean? Always, because I was taught right. You know, I think a lot of this has to do with like how people are raised, you know? I don't think she was ever raised at all. I think that she was a problem child and her parents threw up their hands and said, fuck it, we don't know what to do with her. You know, that's who I would, that's what I truly believe that. Listen, I didn't even consider myself a victim when I was raped, when I should have considered myself a victim. Okay. I have an overly abundance of accountability. I blamed myself for 15 years for something that was done to me that I should have never blamed myself for. You know what I'm saying? And because I always looked at it like if I hadn't been there, it wouldn't have happened, right? So I blamed myself, which now that I'm older and I realize that I wasn't to blame, it wasn't my fault, you know, I have a lot more healthier outlook on it. But I believe that a lot of people are raised in this victim mentality. And it's because their teachers, their parents don't teach them responsibility in life. Their parents don't discipline them. Their parents just let them run wild and run amok. You know, it's really sad because there's a lot of people like that now. In this like new generation, everybody's a victim. I don't like that. I don't get down like that. That is something that I despise. Like at the end of the day, you have to fucking own up to what you did in your life, and you can't be a victim of your circumstance for the rest of your life. At some point in time, you have to look at it and say, well, I've been knowing this was going on. I know the outcome of these actions, and I just keep on letting it happen. So I kind of take responsibility for it. And in a situation like hers, it's the always choosing the same kind of guys, always putting yourself in those situations with those kind of people. Like at some date and time, you have to become an adult and start making adult decisions and stop blaming your fucking behaviors on the world. You know, it's disgusting to sit there and watch people like just blame everything else on everybody else all the time. You know, like I can understand something bad happening to you and that's not your fault, but like, it's just sick. It's sick. I think it's like a sickness. You know what I mean?
Bro, okay, if you have extra point of the game, not that.
You know, it's like, okay, it's like this. I'm going to use like a really easy layman example, okay? It's like this. If you have a coffee table that's in the middle of your living room, and every morning on your way to check the mail, you stub your toe on that coffee table, right? And every morning you stub your toe on that coffee table and you cuss out the coffee table, right? But you know that that coffee table's in the middle of the living room, right on the way to your path to go out the door and check the mail. Then move the coffee table, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, you have to fucking do something about it to make the change. It's like, and that's what I see with a lot of people online nowadays. Like, they will sit there and blame their mental health. Blame, it would be like this. Okay, how about me? I just can't lose weight. I failed. Nicole, you can't lose weight because you eat too much food, bitch. Stop putting too much food in your mouth and then you can lose weight. Like I'm not a victim of my fucking own mouth. I know that my mouth and the calories that I take into my body are the reason why I can't lose weight. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like me coming on here every single day and crying about not being able to lose weight and blaming it on every other situation except for my big fat ass mouth. You know? Now, I do know in some people's situations they have diseases like PCOS and stuff like that. I haven't been diagnosed with anything like that. So, as far as I know, it's just because of my big ass fat mouth. you know? I see modern technology effects on my own son, like him raging and not being able to properly express his emotions is a direct result of screen time and all that. We had yesterday, he got really upset and was going like this to himself, and I got really upset. I was like, don't ever do that to yourself ever again. Like, if you're upset, it's okay to voice that to, maybe we should I think I'm going to get him one of those little punching bags that he can like, pow, 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 or something, because like that is an emotional deregulation. That's him trying to regulate his emotions and not understanding how to do it. Okay. And I believe, and listen, I'm just a mom trying to do the best thing for my son, right? I'm not one of those strict moms who's like, screen time, like I love my son, but I'm not going to prohibit him from doing things. Like that's just too much for me. I love my son. I want him to be happy. He really enjoys talking to his friends and doing his games. Like right now they're doing Fortnite and they got a little team going on. Um, and I have taught my son to do compromise, in his experiences with his friends on these games. There's experiences that come up where my son will say, OJ doesn't want to play with me. He doesn't want to play Fortnite. So I'll have my son sign back on and say, hey, OJ, how about we can play your game for an hour, and then after we get done playing your game, we can play Fortnite with me. And they compromise, and my son works it out with him. You know what I mean? But it takes a lot of work to do those little things, and I try to do those things when I can, but I'm telling you guys, like, I guess a lot of the reasons why I have been able to see my part in things, with like not victimizing myself 24/7 is because I learned to take accountability for my actions at a young age. At a young age, my dad would discipline us, and it was serious discipline. Okay, a lot of people would say that the spankings I got were borderline abuse. My dad would get the belt out and whoop the fucking dog shit out of me. Okay, and my sisters if we fucking didn't act right. And so I also learned a lot of the taking responsibility from the 12 steps. I learned that I had to see my side of the street, you know? So, like for instance, in a failed relationship situation,
Can I have a snack to eat while I'm playing with OJ?
yeah, what do you want?
We,
I just cut up a lot of watermelon. You want some watermelon and grapes?
no, watermelon tastes terrible.
You want some grapes, some strawberries, and some blueberries?
I want like what you gave me yesterday, like that bologna sandwich.
A fried bologna sandwich?
Yeah,
Okay.
with chips and patty.
I love my dad. He's a great man, but he used to spank us a little bit too serious. You know what I'm saying? A little bit too serious, especially for as young as we were. That's why we don't spank my son. And when I say spatted, like that means like spatted his leg or spatted his behind. And the first time and only time he's really ever had that done was when he broke my laptop. And I don't even like doing that then. Like, honestly, we sat down afterward and really talked about how important it was, how hard I work, how many hours I had to work to save up money to buy my own laptop, you know? And that's when we sat down and decided that he will not be getting any electronics this year for Christmas. And he's going to have to learn how, if he wants a new PlayStation 5 or whatever it is, then he's going to have to learn to do chores and save for his PlayStation 5, you know, because me and my husband, we're young parents. We don't have any other kids. We really learned the hard way that we can't give our son those expensive electronics because he just doesn't understand. You know, he's just a kid. He just doesn't understand the value of how much those things cost, you know. And so that was our mistake. We fucked up giving him those responsibilities too early on in his life. You know what I mean? Okay. Like, I don't even remember how old I was when I first started getting electronics, but I know I wasn't 9 years old. I think I was probably like 12 or 13, you know? I think the most electronic I ever got was a Nintendo, which those are like bulky and you don't really break those very easy. Yeah. Oh. Nate had his own cell phone at like 6. That's crazy.
Hello? Okay. That's one big building. Okay, there's a killer man. Killer man right there.
Okay, my brother. Here's your fried bologna sandwich.
I just saw you shoot him and he did literally nothing,
bro. Ooh, hot. Hot, hot,
hot. I'm on the left side of that mountain. I'm gonna be shooting.
I'm gonna get you your thermos with cold water in it, okay? Nate?
I think he's coming back to you.
Alrighty then.
Okay, I'm gonna stay on top of that on mountain, right?
Here you go, baby. Cold water.
Grab like 2.
Cold water, my brother. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna be fine and play. Tell me if you see me, alright?
Our house is clean. Yay!
Or not a plane, a helicopter. Oh, I see you, I see you, I see you.
Abby, what you need to do is change your thinking. Okay? You need to get out and do something to distract yourself. If you're having obsessive thoughts of using drugs, you need to do something drastic. Like, go spend the day with your mom and dad.
What are you doing? Not you, OJ. This guy.
Or family members that you love. Go to a meeting. Call a friend and talk about life. Go jump in the pool. Go get a jalapeno out of the damn freezer, out of the refrigerator, and eat a jalapeno. Go get you a cinnamon disc and eat that. I'll tell y'all a story about cinnamon discs. You know, little candies that you can suck on. So back in like 2002 or 3, I went to treatment at a place called Recovery Centers of Arkansas. And there was a little counselor lady there. Her name was, God, can I remember her name? Oh, shit, I can't remember. It was like Miss Marva or Miss Edith or Miss Frida or something like that. She's a little black lady. And she was so funny. So she was telling us a story time about her one Christmas. She loves sucking on cinnamon discs, okay? So she went to Walgreens to grab her a couple of bags of these cinnamon discs. She couldn't find them anywhere. So she went up to the cash register. She said, "Where are the cinnamon dicks at?" And the lady looked at her and she said, "The what?" "The cinnamon dicks." She was trying to say discs. And when I tell you, the cash register lady said, "Did you say cinnamon dicks?" And Miss Frida, or whatever her last name is, Miss Marva or Miss Edith, something like that, she literally was so embarrassed. She was like, "Cinnamon discs. I'm trying to say discs. I love sucking on the discs." And when I was in treatment, during one of our lessons, she told us that story. And we all laughed. And I'll never, ever forget that little lady. She passed away. She was sober for like 35 years or something like that. But she told us that story, and I will never forget it. Never, never forget it. So, yeah. I do too. And you know, they say that whenever you're having like intrusive thoughts or obsessive thoughts or something like that, if you will put something spicy or hot in your mouth, that it will help to change your focus from the thoughts that you're thinking to the spice in your mouth. So, just a thought. But I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I'm about to go take a shower. No, they're just the discs. They're like the little lozenges. I'm about to go take a shower and wash my ass. But, you know, y'all say a prayer for Mindy, because I do think it's really fucked up that now that she has really not talked about it and she's really just trying to stay sober and do the right thing, that I find it highly suspicious that people like Burner 420 are trying to talk about her now after the fact. And, you know, his whole video is factually wrong, saying that for the last year he's been talking about. No, that's not true. Last year they were friends. This literally just started around February of this year. You know, so Mindy is trying to do the right thing. She's not on social media all day long. She's staying sober. She's working. And she's trying to get her life back together. She's trying to get back on her feet. You know, back the fuck off. Let her get back on her feet. You know what I'm saying? She don't have it like what's her face does. She doesn't have, you know, a bunch of money coming in off social media and all this fucking support. She's by her fucking self. You know, she only has a couple of friends like me and a couple other girls that are actually really her friends and will really try to help her. You know what I mean? So it's really not cool. It's really not cool at all. Just like, you know, what's her face posting videos about me on TikTok after my channel got deleted and trying to make people believe that I'm a liar and a body broker. What I think is so amazing about all of you guys is that I have been doing what I've been doing for so many years that like people don't just jump on the bandwagon and believe because they've seen me in action helping others for 5 fucking years on social media for nothing, you know? And so
I'm so grateful. Like, I honestly, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. Like, I'm proud of myself because I have always been consistently consistent with what I show you guys. I've never switched up. I don't. I'm the way I am, and I always have been this way. And I'm proud of myself for being that way and standing on what I believe and never let anybody like take that from me. You know, people can say anything they want to say about me, but through my proof, the proof is in my actions. Through the proof of my actions, I have shown you guys, like, I will help anybody. I would drop what I'm doing and try to help anybody, even people that I'm not friends with. You know what I mean? And so it really just, I'm so proud of myself. I am proud of me because my actions and what I have done for 5 years overweighs any kind of rumor or any kind of bullshit lie that anybody tries to say about me. You know, there's no like crazy private messages that you can bring up with me talking horrible about people or anything like that. I say, just like when Jason posted the videos of our conversation, I told you guys, I said what I said, and I didn't say it. It's like, you're just proving that everything I say. Like, I am who I am, and I will never, ever try to lie to you or be different behind the scenes. What you see is what you get. You know what I'm saying? And so it has been so vindicating for me for people to try and expose me and only show what I've always said I was, which I have a big mouth. I say some fucked up shit sometimes, but I don't say I didn't say it. I say I said it, you know? And so, I have nothing to hide. Like, I'm really not doing no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And it just feels so good for people to know that I don't do bullshit, that I just am who I am. You know, I don't think you guys can understand how good that makes me feel because it just shows how honest and transparent I really am. I truly am fucking honest and transparent. I'm not behind the scenes cheating on my husband with 6 different dudes and moving this guy in the next day and lying about my sobriety. Like, I really am the person I say I am on social media, you know, and that is the best feeling in the whole wide world. That's the best, like, winning moment in the whole wide world is that I'm not a figment of your imagination. I'm not putting on a show. Like, I am Nicole. I'm me, you know? Yeah, we have some good people over here. And people like Selfie Queen Cindy, Wildflower Tea, like Tracy, Mindy. We are people who are just sharing who we really are. You know what I'm saying? And we don't try to be something different because we're on camera, you know? And I don't know about you guys, but I can watch celebrities on video be actors all day long. When I get on YouTube or on social media, I'm following you because I want to follow you and I want to see who the real you is. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like. That's what I enjoy. And so I think a lot of people on social media forget that. We can go watch fucking Tom Cruise and fucking, you know, Nicole Kidman and whoever else actresses be a figment of our imaginations all day long on fucking TV. When we sign on to social media, we want to be seeing you. We want to watch you for you, you know? A group for therapy for your clinic. What do you mean, babe? It's a lot of hard work to keep up a lie like that. And you guys see how much it's coming out now and how much that person is being exposed for all the dishonesties. It's sad. It's sad, man. It really is because, like all of us have said over and over again, she would have been so fine just being herself and being real, you know? And it makes me sad in that aspect. But I don't know what you mean. You need therapy for your clinic, honey. Does your subclinic not offer it there? Do you have to pay for the therapy, or can it be like a group like we have here? Because if it's like a group like we have here, so I know a lot of y'all don't know this, but a lot of subclinics will allow you guys to use my recovery live streams as a group in your subclinic. So if you take my videos to your subclinic and show them, a lot of the times they'll count that as like an online recovery group. So I know a lot of people's clinics let them do that.
What if we make OJ?
Yeah, so I mean, if your clinic will allow you to count our little group meetings we have here, like our live streams and stuff, then I will sign off on a piece of paper for you. You just got to send it to me so I can, sign it or whatever, or email it to whoever I need to email it to. Yeah. So, like Ashley says, when she was an outpatient, they let her use my videos to count as meetings. So if you're in that situation and you need me to sign off on like a meeting sheet for you, what you would have to do is, I don't know, you need to email me or message me on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have a fax machine, Letha. So send me a message on Instagram and we'll have to figure it out. Okay, baby? I hope that helps you out.
So you cannot even be talking. You're literally a 5-year-old.
Okay, cool. Message me, okay? All right, good deal. So, yeah.
Taste the watermelon, is it good?
Yeah, it's semi-sweet. It's not as sweet as the ones we've had before. But I'm going to get off here so I can go wash the crack in my ass because I'm stinking, y'all. That's one thing I always get in my son's ass about when he's in the shower. I'm like, make sure you scrub the crack of your ass. Because if I didn't stay on his ass, he would just get sprinkled with the shower and then get out. Why are boys like that? It's like pulling teeth to get him to scrub. You know? So I love you guys. I'll see y'all when I get out of the shower. What's wrong, Neil?